$350 million. I never thought I would see a day a team has a $350 million. It's happening, and it's the New York Mets, and it's Uncle Steve. Steve Cohen completely changing everything in baseball. It is a beautiful thing for Met fans. We have an owner that will do whatever it takes to win. Such a far cry from the Wilpon era, and it's complete vindication for me. The second this ownership transition went down, I was fully in on no more dark days. No more days of being cheapskates, of not going out and getting the last piece. And not only is that no longer the case with Steve Cohen, he has proven in 2 calendar years of owning the team that he will do whatever it takes to win. He will take advantage of teams the way the Mets used to get taken advantage of when they had these small market payroll. He is a shark, and all he wants to do is win, and he will try and do it at any cost. It's beautiful. I know there's going to be jokes about the payroll when they don't win. Every year the Mets don't make the World Series, don't win the division titles, don't win the World Series. They're going to be the butt of jokes, but who gives a shit? Because every team that doesn't win gets made fun of, and even when you do, the Dodgers, Mickey Mouse ring, the Astros, whatever you guys cheat. In society today, everyone discredits everyone on social media, so who cares? The Mets have the most aggressive, passionate owner in Major League Baseball, and probably arguably all of sports. $350 million. He stared at that $200 million payroll with all of these questions about who's coming back, how they can compete, and he laughed at it with his checkbook. This is not just a one-off thing. It's not just free agent signings. Remember every single move that he has been at the helm for since taking over the team. The Francisco Lindor trade, something the Wilpons would have never done. He signs him before he plays a game for the Mets, something the Wilpons definitely would have never done. That first trade deadline, finding out Jacob deGrom was done. What the Wilpons would have done was ship off everyone useful that was on an expiring deal, aka Jonathan Villar, gotten nothing for them and said, whatever, next year, it's over now for us. What did Steve Cohen do? He okayed trading one of the Mets' top prospects for Javi Baez and Trevor Williams. That is something that the Wilpons would have never done. That should have changed and buried the same old Mets narrative, but everyone likes to keep the jokes going. No one wants to look at actually what's going on in context. They just laugh. They pile on the Mets all the time. Well then, going into last offseason, he didn't get the big free agents the year before. He sure as hell got the big free agents last year. He paid Max Scherzer so much money, he couldn't say no to New York anymore. He got the guys that he wanted to get. And then coming into this offseason, failing the way they did at the end of the year, knowing the payroll was this high, he goes all out. He offers deGrom the really high yearly annual average salary. deGrom turns him down. Hey, it wasn't all right. Well, there it is. It was go pay Justin Verlander so much money he can't say no. Do it in a creative way that if he sucks, it's only going to be a year of us having him suck, and then we're going to move on from him. And if he's great, we're going to have him for 2 or 3 years with the way the contract works out. Oh, we're not standing pat there, though. Taijuan Walker getting a crazy deal from the Phillies. You're going to go because we're still spending. We're just doing it responsibly. Jose Quintana, 2 years, $26 million. You were decent last year. Hey, you suck, it doesn't matter. You're good, it's a good deal. Best, you want long-term? You failed for us at the end of the year. Thank you for your service, but we're going to move on. He is responsibly saying yes and no to guys while just throwing the bag at them and not caring. He has a $350 million payroll while still being selective with who he signs. It is a great sign for the present and the future. And let's just go move by move really quick. I love the Verlander deal. I think that everyone that was really upset about Verlander after deGrom walked was out of their minds. To be completely honest, I love deGrom. I would have loved to see him be a Met for his whole career, but you could not give him the deal that the Rangers gave him. Rangers are out of their minds. They are going to regret that deal immediately. I mean, I'm talking like by the All-Star break next year, there's a good chance that they are going to be wondering what did they get themselves into. JV deal, really creative. I know a lot of people are worried about $85 million between Max and JV the next 2 years. Guess what? It's only 2 years, and it's 25% of the payroll because Steve is out of his mind, and God bless him for it. Like I said with Quintana, it was better than having Taijuan Walker at that price. It was a lot better than Jameson Taillon. The one pitcher I did not want in any way, shape, or form was Jameson Taillon. The only move the Mets have made with the signings that I didn't like was Brandon Nimmo. I'll be completely honest. I know a lot of Met fans love Nimmo. I do like Nimmo, but he is an average player. He is not a great player. 162 is insane. and I mean insane, to give that dude. He doesn't hit a lot of home runs. He doesn't create runs. He gets on base, but he relies on everyone else to knock him in. He doesn't knock in runs. He's not a Gold Glove center fielder. He's gotten better, but he doesn't have a really good arm, and he's only hit 100 games twice in his career. That is a terrifying contract to give that guy, but guess what? What Steve Cohen's showing us is that is probably going to be a $300 million payroll for the Mets consistently moving forward. Hey, Nimmo's deal is less than 8% of that, so who cares? You know what I mean? Who cares he's getting $20 million a year? $20 million a year for the Mets is like $8 million a year for 90% of the teams in baseball. And then, man, Senga, out of nowhere. Bringing him in, he's going to be comfortable. He's going to be the third guy. He's got two great pitchers to learn from for the American style of baseball. Love that signing too. Love how aggressive it is, and the fact that they're still talking about the Mets being in on Correa after all this. This feels like I'm in the middle of the best dream of my life, and I'm waiting to wake up, but it's not a dream. It's a reality. This is something that in 30 years, I never thought I would have saw as a Met fan. Until 2 years ago, I thought maybe there's a possibility. But damn, dude, it is real. It is real, and for every single Met fan that has lived through the last 35, 40 years, the ones that didn't see 86 or doesn't have a vivid memory of 86, we are beyond lucky, dude. There is no other way to word it. It is great to be a Met fan right now. We have an owner that cares. We have an owner that has a big checkbook that's going to throw it around. We have an owner that's not going to accept bullshit excuses. He wants to win. He is going to do whatever it takes to win. That goal of a championship in 5 years, we're going into year 3, and look at where the team is already. In 2 years, they went from fourth place, third place in the NL East, not even close to the playoffs, changing everything from the top down, getting professionals to come here, signing players to want to be here, getting leaders on and off the field, talented players. Year 2, 100-plus win team. Year 3, they are going to be in the best, most talented division in baseball, and they are going to be the favorites to win it going into the season because of Steve Cohen's attitude and him backing up the words that he's been speaking. He let the media go out there and say, we're probably going to have a $300 million payroll. When DeGrom didn't sign, everyone was like, there's no way they're going to go there. Holy hell did they go there. And they went way, way past it. There is only one thing left to say about the Met franchise and the direction they're going in. Believe in Uncle Steve, because he said he wants to win. He said he will do whatever it takes to win. And all he has done since purchasing the Mets is showing that that is 100% the case. Guys, there's nothing bad to say about what they're doing. It doesn't matter if you don't like half the players they're signing. They are going all in, and it is a pattern of going all in. This is the new normal. The Mets are going to do whatever it takes to increase their odds of winning a championship. They're not done yet this offseason either. I could see a Brian Reynolds trade happening. I could actually see them going after Correa, especially knowing that Cano's contract comes off the books in 2 years. They are giving themselves payroll flexibility. They are spending like crazy, and they are somehow doing it responsibly and creatively. This is awesome. What a time it is to be a Met fan. The future is so bright for the team in Flushing, Queens. It is all around great news, and it's been a great offseason. It doesn't even feel like we lost DeGrom. It doesn't even feel like we had the second best pitcher in franchise history leave us for the Texas Rangers. And it doesn't matter because the team is better than they were going into the offseason. And that's something I didn't think was going to be possible with the way the contracts lined up. But here we are.